Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summer presentation of the iLeague Season 3 Chinese qualifiers match between Old Boys and Team Braveheart. This is the first game of a two-game series, and we're going to be looking at Old Boys taking them on. I mean, right now, they're not looking as hot as they were. Old Boys, they have had their ups and downs, to be honest with you guys. I still think they're very powerful players individually, but their team play has been kind of off-kilter a little bit. Their best accomplishment recently has been taking down Newbie Young, which I actually think is quite an accomplishment, but otherwise, they've been losing to some teams and in some matchups that they really shouldn't be. So hopefully they're getting things sorted out for 6.84 and moving forward. They're going to be going up against Braveheart. Should be, again, a matchup that favors them quite significantly, but you never know with the Old Boys, so we'll see. But thanks once again for tuning in. We'll see how this one plays out. And joining me for the remainder of the match and the remainder of iLeague's broadcast here today is PimpmuckL. How's it going, man?
So, dude, you know what? I just gotta get it out there. Your introduction so much reminds me of the good old Breaky CPK. Welcome to the Horncast.com presentation. My name's Breaky CPK and all that good stuff. Man, these are good times in Heroes of New Earth. I'm not sure if you catch it. Anyway, once again, Old Boys up in the house. It said new BM for quite some while and Ghost and stuff, but I guess we just have some crazy schedules here and everyone had the wrong one, so... Well, now it's Old Boys. Dude, I don't care. I love my Old Boyos. I think they've got a great shot at the qualifiers, actually.
Yeah, pretty decent one. Looking at their opponents, it's going to be a little bit tough, but overall, I could see them getting, looking for a second place. eHome is really tough to beat, though. I think that's the team that everybody's going to be looking at, just like, oh... But, I mean, HGT, like I said, I think that Newbie Young is pretty solid as well. So, we'll see. It should be a pretty fun one. But for now, we've got half a draft before us. The Undying slipped through Phase 1 as they banned out the Gyrocopter and the Lycan. And we're going to see Team Braveheart suit their tempo draft based on that. Earthshaker and Invoker, not necessarily the most tempo-oriented. Earthshaker generally considered a defensive and turtling heroes for carries. And then Invoker obviously looking towards the later levels when he really comes online. But if you go for Wex Voker and you combo up your spells quite a bit, I can still see some real value in this combination they've brought to the table here.
5 seconds
Okay, Blaze, so the big question of the day. Do we gonna see an Octarine core on the Invoker?
I've seen Aghanims built on the Invoker before I've seen Octarine core, and I don't even agree with that, but yeah, no, I think it's unlikely, honestly. Like, I think that people just are really not comfortable with that item just yet, and I only have seen it picked up on like two or three heroes. Well, I've seen Ice pick it up on Nyx Assassin, but that's Ice. So more likely it's probably not going to come into play here unless the game goes really late.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those items where I'm not sure if it fits all the heroes people suggested on. It's an item I personally love to play on Bristleback just because this guy is completely insane if you stack some quilts. But yeah. Still, a first pick Undying. This is, for me personally, the hero of 6.84. One of the best supports in the game by far, but we have a Winter Wyvern against him. And so far I don't see any sorts of like AoE clear against the zombies. I'm scared.
Did they fix the Ags bug? Please tell me they fixed the Ags bug.
Yeah,
okay.
they did.
Okay. I was just looking at that matchup, I'm like, wait a second. Something is wrong, but yeah, no, if they can maneuver against the zombies well enough and they can go Centaur versus Undying, it's actually really good to stampede away from the Tombstone and just go on the targets you want, ignoring the zombies completely. To me, Undying, although I completely agree that he's extremely powerful this patch, I feel like you have to use him a certain way, and that's really about the earlier stage of the game and his dominance therein. I mean, he's okay in mid to late game with his ultimate, but everything else falls off pretty quickly, and I feel like you really have to at least show some strength in like a duo off lane to really show what you can do. But I will note one thing. 86 is one of the best Invoker players I've seen in the past several months. Like, although I'm not really the biggest fan of Braveheart as far as like just seeing them go for the big plays, 86 Invoker is on a whole nother tier of that. Like, essentially, he was able to just absolutely crush the one game that I saw him play Invoker in. So I'm really looking forward to that. He played Wex, and he just was killing everybody. His mid opponents, anybody that tried to gank him, he was just a madman on this hero. So I'm hoping we just get to see some more Wex Voker mid, and maybe we're going to see a lot more tempo from that hero than you'd normally expect.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the whole idea of the late game there. But both teams aren't this late game oriented for now. Maybe we're gonna see some super crazy, I don't know, like a PL if no, he's banned. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Some other agility-based carry. Well, I don't even know what's it's like to make out of this patch just yet. Still, something late game. This would have been great, but against an Undying, against the Earthshake Invoker Zeus, what is there to break the base? Maybe the Invoker, like Forward Spirits are going to be helping out a lot, yeah, sure, and the Tombstone, you can't really fight into a Tombstone, and you can't really clear it this easily, but then there's a Winter Wyvern with a long range, and it looks like Old Boys have the same idea. They want to ban out one of the best late gamers in the game, this is the Medusa, and let's see if Team Braveheart also ban out someone and then pick someone up for themselves.
Yeah, I'm curious how the late game's going to progress here. I don't think that they really want to just like kind of thrust somebody into the late game when they don't really have any other late gamers, but if they can kind of use those 4 heroes that they currently have on the board to create space across the map and just kind of have a 4 distract from one strat, I could still see a late game hero working pretty well. I just think it would have to be a little bit more of an involved one. It seems like they're just in particular afraid of the Medusa, and yeah, we'll see, but I mean, right now, I'm trying to look at the laning configuration for the Old Boys. I like the idea of support Winter Wyvern. I know some people like to run her in the mid. I do not recommend her as the carry that you were kind of alluding to. Arctic Blast range, it doesn't turn her into Sniper in my mind, but who knows. Huskar, though.
I don't know.
Huskar's a hero.
Huskar is indeed a hero, especially with the Wyvern. You have 8, like, what is it? If you're like sub 10%, you have like 96% damage reduction or something completely ridiculous. Wait a second. Queen of Pain is banned out, so what does Braveheart have to really blow him up when he's slow?
Just go Doom.
Oh, dude, just wait a second. Does Silver Edge disable this?
Yeah, Silver Edge disables Berserkers.
Alright, we just won the video game on the side of Braveheart, I guess.
Just go Dragonite, you think? Or, I don't know. Like,
yeah, something like this. Some
Slark would be good.
Some natural, Silver Edge carrier.
Yeah, Slark would be pretty good, I think.
Is it a bit too much melee oriented though against the Centaur?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Too much melee.
It's like, I mean, dude, drafting is so hard now.
Just go
I
Sniper.
don't even want to predict
Just go
stuff.
Sniper. That's all.
Oh dear God, please no. I have enough of ho ho ha ha for the eternity of my whole life.
And yeah,
wow,
that'll work.
Okay, new improved Klings with a Death Pact, having literally no cooldown. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game plan is just to put out enough physical damage when the Wyvern doesn't get her Golden Brace off. Either silence and kill the Wyvern before she gets the chance, or just wait it out and then kill the Huskar then. The bottom line is physical damage kills Huskar, and Clanks brings just a boatload of physical damage output, so Searing Arrow is going to be doing some real work here, and I'm curious now how they lane it, because obviously we're looking at 86 taking the Invoker into a solo lane. Clinks is going to be soloing as well. I don't think you can tri-lane the Undying, Earthshaker, and Zeus, but that's kind of what it's looking like right now.
I would... Dude, I would do this.
Battle.
I don't know, just go and... No, maybe just dual lanes.
Yeah.
I think Undying is so insane, you Tombstone is just... It's disgusting.
It is.
It's completely crazy. Oh, Huskar has the wonderful Immortal from TI.
Yeah.
What does it change?
I don't know. It looks like it doesn't change any of his icons, so I don't really know.
I think isn't it like Life Break?
I really have. The one thing I don't pay enough attention to, if I can say that, maybe just hardly any attention to, is cosmetics. It's just like every single time I see one, it's the first time I see one. When it's this Magnus or the Spirit Breaker, like if I see it in a game and I start casting it, then I know what it does. But until that point, I don't do any research on this stuff. I'll be as surprised as you. Looks like the Burning Spears is a slightly different color. If you look at the icon for it, it's kind of the same image,
Right,
but the flame is brighter. So I think the Burning Spears is actually going to do something a little bit different.
I think it's very important to really watch the heads in order to ensure the integrity of the broadcast. I'm just kidding. I'm still looking forward. It does.
Yeah, I think
Custom Life Break. Wow, it looks crazy good.
Okay.
He's like a whole fiery thing leaping away. This is gonna be amazing, dude.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to it. You'll build up that hype. It's life break hype. But yeah, we're going to see the bounty runes come out. It's going to be 1 bounty rune for Invoker. Awesome for him to get closer to his first spell. Obviously, he has the orbs, but he wants to open up with his Cold Snap pretty early on. And then Zhou on the Huskar will pick it up too. So that is going to be just kind of a back and forth there. The Huskar building himself up and trying to do better on the mid lane. But what do you think about this? The Undying actually sitting on the Huskar is going to really limit his potential because he relies so much on his health pool as well as his attack damage, and Decay will reduce both. This is actually a really good hero to just frustrate the Huskar to no end. Like, he can't use Burning Spears to harass because it's going to cost him too much HP while the 2 or 3 Decay lay into him.
That's completely crazy, actually. Yeah, and he needs some Berserker's Blood, and then he needs some HP regen. Meanwhile, top lane, the Klings. I fear for the life of some of those people in top lane. Spirit Breakers are getting harassed down here. Yeah, the Searing Arrows still do a crap ton of damage. You get 30 bonus damage, you have 43 base. That's a lot. That's so much. And then you have a Zeus who can just harass away, but he only has 1 clarity. He went for the boots first, so he doesn't get caught off. They have more regen. Oh, they're gonna have a Ring of Basilisks. Okay. Okay, sure.
Good catch out on Dog 7 here, taking a lot of damage. I don't think he dies, but I mean, the Arctic Burn, the right clicks, it does frustrate him quite a bit. He still is able to pull the creeps away, though, from the double pull that H20 was looking for. He was just trying to get the creeps denied to the neutral camps, but instead the Earthshaker will take it under tower and get his experience that way. So a little bit more direct, take some harassment in the process, but I would say good play from both sides.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, still, Winter Wyvern is... It's just showing off why he's one of the best supports in the game, I guess. It's zoning people out, at least. His Arctic Bunch is insane. Well, wouldn't you agree in general? Because I still have him... I still have Winter Wyvern on my like tier 1 support list for sure.
But I just the sentence you said is he's showing why he's the best support. I'm like, that's not really the reason. That's,
well, okay,
that's a nice perk.
Right. It's just one of those things where he can be incredibly strong in the early stages, and then with his Winter's Curse, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, early game and late game is incredible for Winter Wyvern, and I would have to definitely agree he's one of the best supports in the game, but I definitely think his disables and what he can do to save people's lives is the trump card of the Winter Wyvern toolkit, but well, let's see. I should have used the phrase hand instead of toolkit, but whatever. It doesn't matter. We're just moving on to the next point. So
we are no English majors, alright?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not easy.
Oh, top lane.
Top lane, there is a skirmish. It is going to be these Tombstone going down. And,
he bashed him out of the Light Striker raid. Dear God, no. DD can't get it, boy. There we go. Nice first blood happening, but yeah, he's going to be dead.
The safest route for the Spurrier to go is practically under the tower to charge away. It's going to be a 1-for-1. First blood going the way of the old boys. And Long DD making the long charge over to 86, who is very aware of this. So just going to be the Spiritbreaker heading back to the fountain. And let's check out the last test. 13 and 4, the Centaur looking for that very quick Tranquils into Blink Dagger. 9 and 5 is the Huskar over the Wex Invoker, since he doesn't do that much right-click damage before the Phase Boots come out. And then 12 and 2, of course, is the Clinks. And 7 and 0 is the Earthshaker. He's using Enchant Totem to try to last hit a little bit.
Klings is, I don't want to say surprising, but his attack animation is so awful. It takes a lot of practice to last it reliably, and yeah, he's missing this CS just there. Now he's getting charged. If this unlucky bash doesn't come out, which actually just didn't really help him there, he might be in a bit of trouble. But he still has a Scallywalk to his disposal, so
yeah,
it's hard to bring him down really.
They have Dust on Spiritbreaker, so we'll see if they try to go for something big here. Charge connects. They will go for the Light Strike Ray, Dust, and they will get the damage they need to bring him down with that Dragon Slave. The Tombstone also wasted. The zombie's just going to go down quickly, and other than that, it might farm some creeps, but it's not really doing much here. That's a big cooldown, a lot of mana. Undying practically has to go back to base. He's just a walking melee creep at this point.
Long DD is going at the Tombstone. You can't really contest the Tombstone at all.
Yeah, but even so, you just wait it out, and now, like, what can the Undying do? Joe's going to lose a lot of mana here, just burns it with the Vitality to try to heal himself up in this position, but he mans up when he doesn't realize the Clinks is here, and the Quaz regen is not enough to keep the Invoker up against the Burning Spears. So, and then he makes it a 1-for-1 post-mortem, but...
20, bottom.
Yeah, we're going to see an attempt here with the Arctic Burn to maybe slow some people down, but without the Centaur's assistance, there's really not going to be a turn. It's just going to be him taking some damage, Dog 7 with the Fisher, but no real commitment.
Oh, Blaze, one thing, I just realized this. Like, most people don't know me because I usually do behind-the-scenes stuff, right? So, when I do Dota Pit, I tell the casters what's happening. So if you don't want that, like if it's annoying or something, just say something.
It's very helpful.
I
mean,
to not say something.
Yeah, if it's like, I think the Winter Wyvern, you could let it play out for a few more seconds, and if it does turn pretty critical mass, then I'll
it's
turn it
just
over.
like I was pretty sure there would be something happening, but
Sure.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that life break does look cool. Yeah, I see the icon already shifted. We'll see. Well, we'll keep an eye on Joe for the first big life break of the game and see that fiery mass just put some damage in. But what do you think about the Huskar overall? Like, obviously there's a lot of magical damage that's flying out. Before the Clink's pick came through, there was almost no physical damage. Do you think that with the Winter Wyvern he's going to be able to dominate this game, or do you think it's kind of a gimmicky thing that they'll inevitably be able to punish?
No, I like the idea behind it. It is still some sort of risky pick, as in he doesn't scale incredibly well into the late game, but against this sort of lineup, it's totally fine, because you do have a Spirit Breaker who's going to be controlling the only one who can really get at him, and this is going to be the Klings, and you have a backup with the Winter Wyvern. So you have like a double insurance policy right here in place. And a Huskar with a lot of farm can do a crap ton of damage, and can especially force people to not participate in fights. In my bottom lane, Mr. Dog is going to be caught out just a bit. Nice Splinter coming in. He still pops his wand, and the Stampede with Zeus Wife gets an easy kill. And also a nice way to like go back from the mid lane, because there was a 3-man, I don't want to say gank, but just a 3-man group up happening, and you got to be careful with those.
Yeah, Tornado kind of tries to pull him out of position, but Joe is perfectly fine here on the high ground. And we're going to see even Didi come in to kind of help out with her ward. They actually have detection in this area. It's the normal vision that they're lacking up to the high ground. So a little interesting position. I think Zeus probably should have had some tangos to eat those wards, but as it is, the ward will remain, at least for now, giving some good intel about 86's position. But Puerti coming in for the flank. Surprise! Central ward just came out. EMP coming down. The Inner Vitality not going to come out in time because the Cold Snap is triggered with every single Searing Arrow strafed up. Great combo from 86 and Puerti, and they are able to find a critical kill on the Huskar. But up top, Long DD will be taking some harassment. Looks like he still is going to be able to trade it out back and forth, but he has to watch himself. Has one Lightning Bolt and he's down to like 300 HP remaining, and there's the Clink stalking it up, looking for the play. They drop the Tombstone, break the trees, he'll charge forward, but canceled by the Lightning Bolt. Great timing there from the Zeus, and they will bring him down with the next right click. So that is going to be 4 for 4, even kill score. If with the early game is even, and YYF is still farming pretty well towards that blink, overall, who do you think that favors? The team that's going to be able to scale better with the Clinks and the Invoker, or do you think it's better with the Centaur Initiation?
I don't necessarily think the Centaur Initiation is going to be the key here. Oh, nice from 820 at the bottom rune. I think that... Oh, wow, Joe is just going at it here. The Invoker's got to be so careful. He does have 2 stacks only. And here comes the Klings again. This is exactly what we saw just a minute ago. And once again, the poor Huskar goes down. And, well, meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah.
We get a kill on the Undying, at least.
Yeah, Clink's just doing absolute work here. He's just moving all around the map, finding those opportunities, frustrating the Huskar to no end. It's important to remember, guys, Huskar naturally only has 2 armor right now. He's getting 5 armor from the Helm of the Iron Will, but overall, he's a very squishy hero when it comes to physical damage incoming, and he just really isn't able to do much. So, yeah, the combination 2v1, all those right clicks going his way, he just gets stunned, he gets killed, and Lightning Bolt does not stop the charge this time, so they will just Laguna down the Lightning, show him what true Lightning looks like, and DD will be able to TP out, so he's going to be fine. Long DD, Tombstone Zombie still on him, and of course the TP scroll and cooldown going for a charge, and that is definitely going to be cancelled out, and we'll see him just...
Come on, Bash Lord, come on!
Yeah, like 5 bashes in a row, please.
just go at it, boy. That'd be amazing. I don't know. There's those moments where the Spirit Breaker just goes full bullshit. Okay, so Joe finally can find something in the mid lane. He is still far off from his what looks like a medallion or even a Helm of Dominator. I wouldn't mind either, and once again the Klink's coming over and Joe gets absolutely wrecked. But not rip. That's at least something. And he's going to have a self, so he's going to be fine at least.
And now they're going to have Stampede for him. They're going to have the Blink on the Centaur. They're going to be initiating fights rather than being the ones initiated upon. And that's a big difference in this game here, because the way I look at it, Huskar and Centaur are great at isolating targets. And whenever you jump on one person, just like the Bat Rider does, you force the enemy to kind of collaborate, for them to, in a panic, clump up and try to respond. And in that position, Winter Wyvern thrives. She's going to hit 6, and when they start going for initiating pickoffs, they can bait so many different good fights. I have no idea about the Stampede, though. Like, not a single lane seems to need it. I would almost call it a misclick.
I think there was an illusion down here, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure, because there was blood on the field there. Well, whatever. It's not that big of a cooldown, I guess. We got 70 seconds still left. Meanwhile, oh, they're gonna find the Klings in the mid lane, and there is the life break happening. Is there enough burning spears?
Yeah.
There is, absolutely. And top lane maybe as well? Hello? No?
So, I mean, good sentry ward up on the high ground there, but now Tornado EMP going to connect onto the Huskar, onto the Cold Snap, taking a lot of hits. The Cold Embrace will help him out a little bit here. Lightning Bolt doesn't do too much against that. 2 points in Berserker's Blood, and that leaves us for the kill up top, which is actually going to be under the tower against the Undying. Just zapping him one again. Laguna Blade, pretty solid, and they get the Nether Strike ulti combo.
Yeah, it hurts. And it's so much control going through everything, you can't really stop it. Speaking of stopping something, so the Klings, I mean, I'm pretty sure there should be an Orchid coming out, right? But what is there afterwards? BKB, just go at it and maybe just don't care about too much of the pure damage, which is essentially going to be coming out from the Lina, sorry.
I mean, you could go for a tanky build, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of value in building yourself up a little bit HP-wise. I kind of want him to build with the inference that he's always going to have Death Pact active, because it's such a short cooldown as he levels it up. I kind of want him to say, okay, well, I naturally have a big health and damage buffer. What do I want to go? And a lot of times it's something as simple as crit. Like, you have so much damage naturally that just getting some raw right-click damage through Crystallis would be really good. The damage reduced... Oh, yeah, wow, yeah. Double Edge was a mistake there, but either way, I think he's dead with the Invoker TPing in. So, yeah, very committed to that position, and the Fisher locks him in place.
This Klings, despite dying twice, is so active around the map. He's not playing like a position 1. He's playing like some sort of 2 position, just going around and just getting some nice kills. And he's so far OB are not really like respecting him in the way that there's sentry wards down there. Oh, the Urshik is going to be in a lot of trouble there. Do we have an ultimate?
Yeah, there's a
Yes,
Blade.
we do.
Nice.
Jesus.
EMP is going to connect onto Long DD. He will be losing all his mana. Arcane Boots will pick him up at least 1 spell, so that's going to enable him to at least be involved in some capacity. Intreads will get him very soon to 2 spells anyway, since they're very, very cheap. But yeah, we're going to be looking at just, I mean, kills back and forth. Now the Winter Wyvern has her ultimate online. But who do you think has the more reason to go for the offensive plays at this point? I mean, obviously we see push opportunities taken when they're given, but otherwise, is there anybody that needs to get aggressive and start tower diving?
I honestly don't think so. On the one side, oh wait a second, do we have top lane initiation? Yes, we do.
Trying for it. It took a little bit, but he does connect with a double edge here, and there's going to be that life break coming in. As snazzy as can be, they'll bring him down, and maybe the tombstone with it, or maybe not. It could be coming in. Blink. Oh, the Echo Slam with the bottle magic stick. YYF will go down to the Thunder God's Wrath. And, of course, Joe on the front line. Really good combo. Bottom lane, we see the Nether Strike connecting at 86, and a bash immediately thereafter will finish him off. So, good combo there. Now DD looking for prey. Could go for the Light Strike Array combo, but needs 1 TP in with him, and there's nobody to return. So, he's just kind of watching, waiting, but not finding any opening.
Yeah, I'm just...
Maybe now? No.
Well, that was a very optimistic stun. Just to clear some creeps, I guess. Anyway, I like that the Zeus is actually farming up quite a bit now in the mid lane. He needs something. Otherwise, he's just gonna get jumped by the Huskar. 2 or 3 stacks of burning spears up onto him, and, well, then he's gonna be destroyed. Question is, with a Ring of Regen and a... Well, okay, Soul Ring was the obvious choice. I wanted to see some sort of 4 stuff, I guess.
On the Zeus, yeah. Nah, he feels he needs the Soul Ring, pretty sure.
No, I mean, totally understood, but... What is there afterwards? I still want to see some stuff. Anyway, oh, top lane Long DD cancels his charge just when the Fissure was coming out.
Yeah, 4-step seems like the appropriate way to respond in this game. Just so far behind, you just need to maneuver against these heroes and try to make sure you're not caught out. So I'd say Force is a pretty big deal. But it looks like we're going to see 2 Orchids, not just the 1. Puerti looking for one of the Clinks, and then 86, of course, looking for one on the Wex Voker. Pretty standard build for both, but to see them doubled up, is there any weakness that can be just completely negated by BKBs?
I don't even want to say something right now, because there might be just some... I think it's too early to call. In a completely other way, what I do like is the channel pickup on the Huskar. So if this is indeed going to be a Solar Crest, I love the item so much. I think it's incredibly strong for the value. It just costs 3,000. You get evasion. You can use the mist chance on someone else. That's huge. Oh, and they go on top.
Yeah, gonna bring down the Undying pretty quickly here, but the Centaur thrown up in the Tornado, hit by the Thunder God's Wrath. He's taking a lot of hits, but will be healed up by the Cold Embrace. So Long DD gets the short end of the stick. He'll be caught out, and that Fisher from Dog 7 just locked everybody out of that fight. They couldn't pursue forward. They couldn't go on another target, and that makes it only a 1-for-1.
And that's totally fine. You kill down the Spirit Breaker, but also went for a chainmail, so there might be some I don't even know, maybe AC, maybe the Medallion is going to be on the Spirit Breaker. I'm not sold on the whole idea. Maybe someone's going to be picking up a mech. Well, anyway. Still, Husker only level 9, compared to a lot of other cores being level 10 and 11, even though he was mid, very interesting enough. And this Klings is just making, like, this pick work out so far for the side of Braveheart. He's always around the map, he's always getting the runes, and he is giving old boys quite some scare. There's still not that many wards up. There's one in the top lane, one sentry, and that's pretty much it.
I really feel like the Spirit Breaker should be kind of like for the half this game just sitting in Fountain, and then whenever he thinks sees Klinks, he can charge him and just keep track of him and see his movements, respond to his movements. If there's an opening, you go for a dust kill, and if not, then at least you know that he's not killing you. I really feel like they haven't really taken advantage of that vision potential, but obviously they seem to want Long DD getting some farm here. 32 last hits, working towards what could be a blade mail. And
dude, this skill build, if Grant would be here, he'd be flaming him into oblivion. 1 point in Greater Bash, that's it.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not so sure about that, honestly. That does seem like a bit of a mistake. Greater Bash is such an important skill for all of Spirit Breaker scaling. But we're going to see Huskar taken. Oh, nice double stomp onto the Invoker. He will get hit by the Winter's Curse, and there's 4 connecting. The Echo Slam's even wasted. Oh my, what a Winter's Curse coming out. And now Zhou will survive. They only lose the Centaur, again, a 1-for-1. DD, though, caught in the trees, will be taking a few right clicks. But it looks like he'll be able to Yules. And eventually go down after an extended clash. Soul Ring, Lightning Bolts is gone. Are you kidding me? He actually was able to just TP right out. And now 820 backing off. A little bit of lag here. But yeah, just in general. What a weird way to clash. I mean, like, the Winter's Curse was incredible. The Stomp was pretty good. But the problem is their damage follow-through isn't convincing right now. The way that these engagements are being taken.
Yeah, not at all. If your Huskar has to run from an engagement, there is very little he can actually do. And he picks up a buckler, alright, so it's gonna be Mech Huskar. Why not?
Mech or Crimson Guard. I think both are pretty good on him.
I don't see Crimson Guard against the Klings, actually. He's got so much damage. Look at this guy. He's got 180 already. That's without Searing Arrows. What does Crimson Guard do?
It does 55 damage block when it's active, and then 2 armor, obviously.
Okay, great, but, you know. It's like, he hits already so hard, I think Crimson Guard is just quote-unquote wasted. It's... Okay. Obviously, it's not, but...
I just was thinking about the speed of the attacks. You got Wex Invoker, you've got Strafe, maybe Alacrity. Like, you're going to see faster flying attacks, and therefore block is more valuable in that situation. But, yeah, the mechanism makes sense, too. As long as he has the mana, it doesn't get hit by an EMP.
Yeah, because he doesn't have other spells, right? You might as well go mech. Yeah, and he goes mech. Nice. Thanks, Joe. That's what I call the day. Okay, nice zoning Tornado into the Roche Pit by 86. And it looks like old boys were trying to form out down bottom, but no one is really just trying to push there. Everyone's just farming up the map on the side of Braveheart, and they've got a good time so far. Gold-wise, it is rather even. They don't have the edge, but it's so close together, you might as well. You might as well play fine. I mean, you play slow if you have an Undying sitting down there. Wait, he is mid. Why is the Undying mid and not in the fight? Oh, he has a TP. Okay, I'm good.
It's alright, but
I'm freaking out, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I really like the Sentry Observer combo coming out from the Radiant side, though. The old boys on the eastern side here have 2 wards on top of each other, and this shows when the Klinks or the Invoker are moving invis into their territory. Anytime they come in from that flank, which is usually the cleanest angle to come from, is actually going to be watched and revealed. And now we're going to see that jump on the Undying all by himself, and there's no chance for the TBs to bail him out here whatsoever.
In the meantime, the Orchid was revealed in the top lane. Spirit Breaker was gone on by the Klings, and he got narrowly away. Because of the Stampede being used in the main fight, the Spirit Breaker could actually just run away at the exact perfect opportunity. So now the Klings Orchid is revealed, 20 minutes in. That's not the best timing I ever saw, but he's got like Treads and Keeler and Soul Ring and all that good stuff already, so he's actually quite fun. He's #1 in the net worth, and I I just cannot believe that he was allowed to roam so freely around the map, and there is still pretty much no sentries except for one. So now it's a smoke gank, and maybe they're gonna find him now this time around.
Yeah, they'll certainly try. We're going to see the blink stomp. No, they go back the other way. They're looking at mid. This is very awkward. They're caught in between two different forces. They're not bringing down Clinks all that fast without the Laguna Blade, but they will get the Winter's Curse. He still gets healed up by the Undying, so while they bring him down, they've exhausted everything to do so, and they're just going to turn it back around. 820's going down. They're going to kill off the Lina. YYF in an awkward position too, and Joe completely all isolated, all by himself. The armlet toggle saving him for a moment longer, but still not changing his fate. Oh my, I mean, they got a good pick, but the problem was the entire team was ready and waiting.
Yeah, and they took way too long for this. There was no Laguna Blade, so as such the Clinks could just, like, pretty much sit there with his, like, he was on 1.3k HP, I believe, and he's got quite a bit of armor just because he went into the Ring of Aquila, and of course the Power Treads, who were interesting enough onto Agility. So he was damn tanky, and there was no Laguna, so they didn't have the burst, and Zhou wasn't coming in. He was trying to just jump on the Invoker. He killed him, that's great, but he didn't have the mech completed, so there was no sustain at all in this fight. That's just as bad as it gets for a fight. If we have this exact same fight now, I think they just win it handedly, but it was just very unfortunate.
Yeah, well, we're going to see mech completed on both sides here. The Huskar and Undying each picking one up. Blade Mail finished up for the Spirit Breaker. Again, there are a few spells that will be dealing some AoE damage. The Thunder God's Wrath, the EMP, that kind of thing. The Spirit Breaker doesn't want to eat all that, but if he has at any point in time to focus, then he's going to be turning some damage back the other way. Overall, not really changing his state of affairs, though. And we're going to see the BKB come out for the Centaur. I was wondering about this, between the option between Agative Scepter and BKB, but I think BKB is pretty good this game, all things considered. So many Orchids, Cold Snap, Fissure, blah, blah, blah. It's just stuns and damage that he doesn't want to have to deal with in the fight.
Yeah, I agree. Tons of stuns. Tons of annoying stuns at that, even though there's a Spirit Break, I mean, bleh. So, now mid lane, everyone just grouping up.
And Alacrity plus that Death Pact laying into the tower, but popping the Strafe and Alacrity at the same time does set him up for a pretty easy fortification. Still, the tower goes down quick.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
How fast do they do Roche with that kind of
that's
buff up?
a good question.
Like, if they have Strafe and Alacrity, that Roche falls so quickly, it's almost ridiculous.
They could really need a medallion onto someone like the Undying.
Yeah, could be beneficial.
Imagine that. Wow.
He can't even get his slam off. The Cold Snap locking him down. Puerti delivering so fast with Bright Clicks. They're just going to clean this up, no problem at all. And that's a huge jump up for them. I mean, they take the tower, they take the Aegis, they want to go on the offensive. They just got the second Orchid, and they've got the Blink on the Earthshaker. Like, this is their time to shine.
Okay, I'm a bit sad, gotta say. We had two chainmails, one is a mech, one is a blade mail along DD. Why is there no Solar Crest, boys? Come on. The item is so good. No, I'm not even kidding. Put it on the Clings. He can't go BKB all he wants. It goes through it. It just doesn't matter.
He has to go BKB.
It's the best thing about it.
Yeah, it just straight up forces a 5,300 gold item to be picked up in the Monkey King bar. Down bottom, we're going to see Joe caught out all by himself, and physical damage brings him down quick. So, they're going to be able to take the bottom tier 1, but what do they need to hold the top tier 2? In fact, I don't know if that'll work. They're going to pop the Stampede since the Arc Lightning put the Blink on cooldown. They'll still charge him down, though. They still will find him in the trees. Double Edge and Bashes. They'll finish that job, but tier 1 tower is down bottom, and they've only begun on the tier 2 top with the Glyph available. What is Braveheart's game plan right now? A bit of a base race, leaving the Clinks bot? I'm not sure.
If you base race and your enemy has your tier 2 already taken and is threatening tier 3s, I do not think you want this. I just can't believe you want this. Just TP back the Invoker. Wait a second, he has TP cooldown. Uh-oh.
But they've got Alacrity, they've got Strafe, they will pop the Glyph and they'll keep going.
They have no TPs at all, except for the Clings. So you have to base race.
Kind of. Yeah, we'll see the charge going bottom here.
We
Right down south. They force the Glyph, they take over half the tower, but now kind of trying to awkwardly disengage here. At least Old Boys didn't push through. That would have been probably even more problematic for them.
Yeah, they're fine, I guess. This could have been completely crazy. But now the Clings is back to top. He's got 1.2k gold soon to be. Where's he going for? Come on, Clings. Oh, the BKB, alright.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah. I should watch couriers, I guess. God, I'm so out of the drill of casting. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. A lot of stuff to keep track of. I'm sure I miss half the stuff that I should not be, but we will see Winter Wyvern coming out with the Glimmer Cape. Pretty standard pickup for Winter Wyvern as a second item here. I think that, I mean, obviously enabling her in Captain's Mode is the main reason why we see her in 6.84, but I think the addition of Glimmer Cape really helps her position as a support hero.
That is correct. It's one of those items, it doesn't cost that much. Yes, it has a rather large mana cost, but who cares? You have 1k mana, your ultimate costs 250, Splinter Blast 150, and then there's some other spells, and in total you're looking at like 600 to 700 mana use in a team fight. You have a 1 for this. You have Glimmer Cape twice up in a team fight usually. You get a ton of spell resistance. That's great. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
The one thing which you have to keep in mind is there might be a Klings just destroying her. And, well, that hurts, but you can still just go in this. So the Klings has to actually carry some sort of dust or reveal.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it works out pretty well. 0.7 seconds delay. Silence doesn't stop you from going invis. No silences of any sort. And, yeah, I like the overall item. I think, obviously, it syncs up well cooldown and duration-wise with the Cold Embrace. So, just overall, it's a very nice combo for keeping people alive. And we're going to see him keep the Centaur alive here.
Oh.
Still 86, looking for an opening. Not revealing the Ghost Walk yet, but if they put a Tombstone, if they go in here and drop the Tombstone behind him, it's going to be hard for him to disengage. He pops the BKB, though, the Stampede as well. Not sure if this is the fight he wants to take, though. He's missed the stun. He's wasted the BKB. He'll blink away, but Puerty will follow. And I don't think a Cold Embrace will come out on time. So YYF going down, wasting every single cooldown he has, and then going down.
That's surprising. Well, they're gonna even maybe find more.
Yeah.
820, the Orchid is up, but there we go with the Cape, and he's completely visible. Nice stun, stopping the Dork in his tracks. Visual coming out. Oh, and the Orchid right when the ultimate was cast by the Spirit Breaker. No, everyone is so clumped. There's the Splinter Blast hitting pretty much everyone. It deals a crap ton of damage, slowing the retreat down. But there is no buybacks, no nothing happening, so there's no real reinitiation. Where's Joe? Joe's just happily farming down bottom. Okay, well, there's no fight happening then.
So, we're just going to see them TP back. Not really going to be able to commit to the engagement in either case. It's kind of odd to see Huskar split pushing in such a tense situation, but it seems like he realizes there's not really going to be anything happening, and if there is, he'll be jumping back to the mid lane immediately. So, all in all, not really that much going on right now with the fact that the Aegis is still in the Invoker. Obviously, the old boys don't want to do anything offensive, and then, of course, the Braveheart weren't able to find much more of an opening than just picking off that Centaur. So, gold and experience are near even. Items progressing, we're going to see a lot of BKBs coming out from both sides, but really, it feels like the status quo remains unchanged.
It's interesting that we had like 2 days in a row super even games. Like, this is so even, and it... There's my, like, I was saying, whenever there's a pause happening and you can't see the edges of the graph, it's a very even game. And this is like 2 games in a row, just perfectly fine, perfectly even. Guarding Grease up on the Undying. I think it helps a lot, actually, in this game against the Huskar Burning Spears, because you're going to be taken down and the HP regeneration might be taken in. Oh, that's a good choice. Meanwhile, top lane, there is an Invis Klings and Long DD. Let's see. Round 2 fight. Can he get him this time around? There is the BKB activated. Just one go for
one
it.
more? No!
What? Come on, dude. This is...
That is wild. That I'm absolutely dumbfounded that didn't work. Thunder God's Wrath is level 2. I mean, they laid in everything that they could there, but it just didn't work. I don't know. I mean, the Spearbreaker's just too tanky, and if he switches out a Mytho Hammer for an Ogre Club, then he'd be even tankier. I just don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, this is... Oh, Joe is going to get caught out. Bye-bye.
Yeah, they're going to bring him down so quick. I mean, yeah, he's got the mechanism, but that doesn't mean anything here. And yeah, we're just going to see them push onto the tier 2, Alacrity and Forged Spirits, or Forged Spirit, I should say, nowhere near the double, and actually instantly dies to the Splinter Blast, so yeah, let's just forget that ever happened. But going to see the Alacrity come out and push this tier 2 into near deny range. Just 100 HP up. Oh, we see the jump in. The Echo Slam on one side, the Centaur on the other. 86 will be caught by the Winter's Curse, and he will be right-clicked down by his ally. Now they're going to get the Nether Strike onto Dog 7, still stunned up. It's going to be, actually, the Spirit Breaker to fall, despite being underneath the Glimmer Cape. A great attempt to save him by 820, but it doesn't work out in the end, and now we see the tower fall. Undying claiming the last hit, walking away proud.
Long DD was attacking when he had the Glimmer Cape onto him, so it got dispelled. I think this instant, right? It does.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then there comes the Lightning Bolt, and suddenly it did way too much damage, actually. I think he could have even survived this.
Yeah, it's definitely
But yeah,
possible. I
it's-
think if he just walks away there instead of keeps fighting.
Actually, it doesn't matter, because if you get revealed, then there's one right-click coming out, and it doesn't really help you against right-clicks, so then he would be dead.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's absolutely true, but it just comes down to when the Lightning Bolt would have happened if he could have run instead of fought, but I don't know. Right now we've got a Geometry Sight on 820. We've got old boys kind of, I would say their backs are against the wall a little bit here. They're losing momentum, they're losing space to farm, and they're losing every fight back to back. Do you think the Aghanim Scepter would be the game changer though, if since the center is so close to it?
I honestly do believe it is. You completely counter out the Orchid. It just doesn't do anything. Okay,
YYF though, getting good damage in. They're going to Cold Embrace it, negate that entirely, and Thunder God's Wrath will just prevent them from blinking forward to go for the next play. But Sure's still here. They're still going in on Joe. Big blink stump onto the center. He's already got the BKB up, so he'll just do all the damage. Joe on the back line, focusing down Invoker. 86 can't get away fast enough. Oh, he ghost walks out, and he is going to survive. Now they're all by themselves. Like, we have all these heroes on this side of the tombstone, and all these heroes on this side of the tombstone. It just breaks the fight up perfectly for Braveheart. They commit so hard to bring down the Invoker. They want to shut down the Arsenal Magus, but all the same, it just ends up being their own deaths, and they don't just focus a single target all as 5. I'm not so sure why.
Yeah, and like in the beginning I talked about how there is like this double insurance coming up for this Husker. Problem is, if you can't reach him with any spells ever, especially not with a Cold Embrace, well, there's some issues, and he just drops. We saw it just right there, and that's hard to watch. However, I gotta say, with 32 minutes in, this is where the Undying gets a bit less of an issue. The Tombstone, yes, it has 800 HP. It works as a building. It takes literally no damage, but still, we're at a point where somewhere in this game is where the Undying is going to be less of a factor, and if he's less of a factor, maybe the Tombstone's going to drop, maybe everyone can actually come into the fight, help out the Husker, who goes completely crazy. I mean, Joe is he's not fearing anything in this life of his there, but yeah, I don't know if this is the right call every time, because he's only on 1.3k HP. We gotta keep this in mind. That's actually nothing. The Klings is on what, like 2.5 if he has a Death Pact on of a big minion, of a big creep in the jungle. 2k right now, yeah, but I don't think he has a big creep. Yeah, I think he was using it on lane creeps.
Sure. So the Dark Soul Summoner would be easily pumping him up beyond that, and that just makes him huge.
Pretty sure, yeah, and he has agility traits right now as well.
So Centaur is going to pick up the Axe, though. I mean, that's the big thing. He did survive through that last fight. He has expended his BKB a couple times down to 7 seconds, but he should still get off at least one good stun and Stampede no matter what. So with that in mind, all of that just resistance coming out, mitigation via that Stampede, oh boy.
Okay.
Are you able to see anything going on right now? Because it's like,
yeah, Dog is putting down the Spirit Breaker to 12 HP, and now he's on the run actually. There comes the blink forward, YYF, but the blink backward from the Earthshaker just in time to stop him. DD is now gonna get initiated there. The Tombstone is dropped, the Glimmer Cape is activated, the Yules galore. Everyone is just activating those tornadoes, and now here we go. Joe is coming in. He's right to get away, but this is a great reinitiation.
Oh, Winter's Curse!
Joe gets completely stunned. The Winter's Curse onto 3 actually. Now the double stun, YYF is pounding in, and now Joe gets brought down. The Ghost Step is activated. Pure T, he's still right-clicking away. He's doing exactly what he's used to do, just right-clicking hard. YYF on the run. 4 people still alive for Old Boys, but they're going to be dropping fast, and just one more to fall before... Oh, the blink forward, the aggressive blink. 823 more hits is all they need. 1, 2, and the Cold Embrace. Nicely done, but he's going to be dead to rights. What a fight by Braveheart. They just going to dispel it right there. And the Orchid just for good measure. And I do have a slideshow as well, but that was a crazy fight. Holy crap. And now there's the Kale pause coming out.
Kale. Yeah, that was a little choppy for me, but I definitely saw everything you were saying there. So really nice fight for Braveheart pursuing, despite the winner's curse. I feel so bad for the Wyvern because I feel like he's been landing these clutch ultimates. 820 has been setting up his team for success, but the problem is they just don't really have the damage follow-up. Like, they've got Lena's spell combo, they've got the Centaur double edge, that's all their AoE. I really feel like this Wyvern, although he's bringing the control, they just don't have the damage follow through, and I don't think this draft ever could have had that. It really was just kind of a one-trick pony with the Cold Embrace keeping the Huskar alive, and now he's just completely outclassed. I mean, just turning over to last hits real quick, you'll see that even the Centaur is dramatically higher in farm than the Huskar. It's because Huskar is not a flash farming hero. He's a hero that either he kind of lives by the sword or dies by the sword. He doesn't really do well if it's a passive game, and we've seen that for a couple of stages here for Braveheart. But we're going to see here, Orchid's coming out, nice nukes coming from the Zeus, and they're just going to look to clean up the racks, no problem.
That was really dirty. Does Lina have a Ghost Scepter? No, she doesn't, so completely unnecessary. Now they go with the BKB's activated, everyone just popping it, and, well, there's not many stuns coming out. The Glimmer Cape even used on the backlines, Long DD. Well, he's getting pounded by 2 people with the BKB's activated once again. The Splinter Blast slowing down this Klings, but he can just run for now. Nice stun, Joe. Oh, he's gonna eat the 2 damage to the face. Wife is getting brought down. Great Winter Embrace now, but once again, Wives, he's getting healed up, but can he survive this? It's looking very close. He goes down. Oh boy, and now
they just blink forward, go for
running.
one more. Tornado up, blinking forward. Joe gonna be right click down so quickly.
It's Fissure?
Armor toggle, keeping him alive. Ice wall, locking him in place. Glimmer Cape, negating their sight, but in the end they will bring him down. That is gonna be the melee Rex going, a 20 gun, and at this point they might just tap out. The Huskar just can't do enough in these fights. The Klings is too powerful. It was a great last pick, executed very well from Puerti, and it looks like Braveheart are on the verge of taking game 1. I mean, obviously old boys aren't out of it yet, but the last few fights, I feel like they've pretty much given it all they've had, and it just hasn't changed anything.
Yes. In the last fight specifically, they were doing kind of good, and then they tried to chase hard, and this just didn't work out in the end. It's like so hard to watch because Cold Embrace just is not this much of a factor, which I would have liked to see, and this is mainly because of this Invoker pick. He just dispels it. He doesn't care. He has his Tornado. You can go and try to stampede on the guys, but he still just has his Tornado up, and that's such a great counter initiation. Fissure as well. It's like those 2 spells, they just destroy him.
I actually can't believe that they left a Forward Spirit right-clicking creeps, not microing, to kill the last 36 HP of this ranged barracks.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money left on the table. People are like, oh yeah, ranged barracks sucks. No, it's actually huge now. It's something you really want to kill just to get that extra, like, 1,200 gold boost to your team.
That is correct. It's so much money now. It's crazy. Okay, so 20 to 29. Goldcroft is steadily just rushing downwards. Braveheart, they had a great game. They were keeping even, and then suddenly they just took off. And now the Klings is so incredibly farmed. Look at this guy. He's got 18k net worth. Invoker's the next on 14, and then there comes the Centaur, like you mentioned. And no one even close. It's like Braveheart is just so rich. They found some offshore account somewhere.
Yeah, I'm considering reconnecting. Are you still getting choppiness every once in a while? Like, just people running around and stuff?
Yo, it's, you know, I have my Microsoft Office ready to go, it's fine. It's just Chinese service. Perfect world is absolutely perfect with the connections. In all seriousness, it's nasty. But still, Klings has his Daedalus, he crits for like around 700 on those golems. And with a blink, what is there to stop him in his strafe to bring down pretty much 2 heroes on the side of old boys? A Cold Embrace, great. Orchid on the guy, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like they invested a lot in making sure that they are capable defensively, and they certainly have that with the Stampede and such, but just as a general idea, their damage is completely lacking. They can't focus down any of these heroes. They try to, but they're so spread. They need like the perfect fight with all their abilities connecting on the perfect targets. They have all the tools they need to survive for long enough. The problem is their damage is like, I think the Lina is their most damaged, to be honest with you. Like, her Laguna Blades at level 16 could do more damage than what we've seen from the Huskar in a lot of these fights.
Yeah, that's correct. Also, as crazy as it sounds, but Joe kind of needs a BKB because he's getting controlled so much in those fights.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see. They try. That's good.
Ooh, glimmering, going in, YYF, trying to find the opportunity. Zeus on the back line cancels everything here, but they still are going to be able to burst down on the Undying. Sure is not so sure about his survival anymore, but we're seeing a little bit of lag for the teams, but a nice Nether Strike coming out of Puerto. They're going to try to focus down the Clinks. Ghost Scepter on the Huskar. He goes for another life break, taking his HP very low, and they get the stomp. They will get the double edge. They should get the Clink kill, but no, he double edges somebody else. He lets the Clinks walk away with 50 HP. He gets another death pact up, and Dog 7 playing with his food. It's going to be the death of both of them, the Earthshaker and the Spirit Breaker going down, but Clink's still alive, still destroying everything in a triple kill for 86. They'll go for one last hurrah, one last all-in play. They will kill the Zeus, Gem on the field, but Joe, he's silenced.
Wow, that was quick.
Ghost Scepter versus Blink Dagger, and now they go on 86. They will be able to bring him down here. The Ghost Walk will not save him. The Deafening, however, will buy some time before YYF connects with the double edge. So, all in all, 4 people go down, but that was at least a double buyback, yeah, for the Huskar and the Centaur.
Yeah, it's fine. You get a double buyback out of this whole thing. It's
Radiant's middle tower
you don't lose your
is under
Clinks.
attack.
There's no like comeback gold coming into play at all on the side of the. Well,
Especially now with that
at least-
60% reduction, jeez.
Yeah, it's
Radiant's
so
middle
much.
tower has fallen.
So yeah, it's fine. You just go again. Maybe we're gonna see some major stuff. Where's Roche? Roche is up in 2 minutes. Alright, sounds good.
Yep.
Let's wait 2 minutes, farm up. BKB on Spirit Break is quite the thing. Does Centaur have a BKB? Let's see. He has this. Yeah, I mean he had it for quite some time, but it just doesn't feel like it has any sorts of impact, funnily enough. Because now they have BKBs on the most important heroes. Still, Huskar doesn't have one, but... Wait, does he have one in Courier?
No, I don't think so. He just bought back, and he hasn't had even tier 2 boots for a while, so...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's a tough game. I mean, we just look at net worth in general, and it's not looking sharp. I mean, the Huskar is below the Lina now. He is actually 9,300 net worth, below the Undying, below tied up with the Lina. It's just Joe has not had an ideal game. Huskar is not an ideal hero to play the long game. 42 minutes in, you don't want your Huskar to be your primary core, and in this case, that's what they drafted for. So they needed a lot more momentum. They needed a lot more kills, and around that timing when we saw the Centaur Blink Dagger, I was expecting them to just go for the full offensive, but the game ended up being a little bit too passive, and Huskar was not confident in himself to go too deep. So that, on top of the fights they lost, really cost them momentum in this game, and now with 2 lanes of racks down, it's just a matter of inevitability with the Roche going to be taken with one last fight.
Maybe they can like sneak in or something.
Thunder God's
It's
Wrath?
super risky, but... Yeah, I mean, Oldbus just like smoke into Roche. No, this is not happening. Nah, Braveheart are way too smart for this stuff. They're gonna smoke themselves. Check Roche. Stay around for a second. No? Okay, well.
This is
There we go.
pretty much one fight to decide everything here. 86 going in. Tornado will not connect. BKB popped out by the Spirit Breaker, but he doesn't do anything with it. He's just fighting zombies. Now goes on the Tombstone. Puerty on the back end. Blinks onto 820, trying to bring him down, but he's got Glimmer Cape. He's got Ghost Scepter. They bring down the Tombstone. Fisher locks him out. Joe onto Puerty, but an Echo Slam onto 2. Dog 7 coming in with a big hit. Now it's a 3-man Winter's Curse doing some good damage. Zeus on the back line has to self-Yules, but nobody is dropping on the side of Braveheart. Now Joe caught out Orchid, EMP, Deafening Blast, and Meteor, everything the Invoker can throw at him. Even the Kitchen Sink with this Aghanim Scepter invoking everything. Sunstrike goes down. The right clicks finish him off, and now they look to finish the game.
I didn't even think about the Sunstrikes just yet.
Oh yeah,
It's
he's only
perfect.
well because he's been so Wex oriented, right? It's only now that he's like he was actually like 1 point in Exhort like 4 or 5 levels ago. So he's just it wasn't really a factor until now, I think.
Yeah, and the true damage is just great. You just rip through the whole Cold Embers thing. Wow. Okay, what a game of Braveheart. The Clinks pick paying off big time.
Yeah.
He was super active early on. I wasn't sure if this was all worth it. If you go super active early on, you kind of sacrifice a lot of farm for the guy, and he had a 20-minute Orchid. It's not like it's a fast Orchid, but everyone else on his team had so much farm suddenly.
Yeah.
Great, good timings.
Good timing, space created, opportunities obtained, and yeah, It's going to be the
Yeah,
Old
the
Boys going
absolute
down
orange.
one game in this 2-game series versus Braveheart. So kind of surprising to a lot of people. A lot of people would expect Old Boys to perform better, but trying a bit of a gimmicky draft and seeing it didn't pay off, I'm expecting a pretty different composition of heroes coming in from the Old Boys in round 2. So we're going to be going into that in just a few minutes, guys. Thanks once again for tuning in to the iLeague Chinese qualifiers here. We're going to be looking at Team Braveheart versus Old Boys, the second game of this 2-game series, coming up to conclude our broadcast for iLeague today. Thanks for tuning in once again here. Check out BeyondTheSummit.tv. Check out the casters, Blaze Casting, and PimpmuckL on Twitter. And we appreciate your viewership. See you guys in just a few minutes.